Now, before going further, I would like to describe why at all is trigonometry necessary? Is it even necessary? So see, there is a problem in geometry that led to the development of trigonometry. See, in geometry, whatever you did, suppose you saw the sides. So it was only with the sides. Maybe congruency, in class 10 you will be learning something called a similarity. It is always with the sides or always with the angles. But there is, or at least there was no mathematics as such that relates the side of a triangle to its angle. Trigonometry just does exactly that. What does it do? It relates the sides of a triangle to its corresponding angles. So this is a very simple but a very profound kind of technology, you can say, by which just by seeing an angle you can trace the sides. You will be able to do this kind of things. So why is this chapter used? I mean, how is this chapter used? Well, trigonometry, the way we structured it right now, maybe that was not available, but several instances of trigonometry had been found all over Europe and also in the Indian civilization in mathematics. What happened is, suppose somebody made a tower. Okay, somebody made a tower. The sun is falling like this. So if the sun fell like this, the size of the shadow would be somewhat here. If the sun was here, the size of the shadow will be comparatively longer, isn't it so? These were the basic operating mechanisms of sundials. So basically, the more slanter the sun is, the length of the shadow will be that much. So because the length of this stick is calculable. I mean, I know what is the length of this stick, and I also know the length of this, whatever the length of the shadow it is casting. I can directly know at what angle is the sun there. And at what angle is the sun there, by this information, I can infer the time. What time is it today? Are you getting my point? So basically, what time is it in the clock at the daytime? It can be very easily conferred just by seeing the motion of the sun and the shadow casted by it. Are you getting my point? Now, we know the sides, but how are we able to come up with this angle? The relation between the side and angle is called as trigonometry. Is this clear to everyone? So, before starting trigonometry, we need to define certain terms. Before starting anything, we define certain terms. I mean, before we started the concept of algebra, we defined what was variable, what was constant, now what is called a degree, and what is called an equation, blah, 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 blah. Even before starting geometry, suppose we were into specific terms such as congruency, we actually associated ourselves with some terminologies that we would be using. Like that, we start trigonometry with a right angle triangle. Okay, we start trigonometry with a right angle triangle. So just now in the scope of class 10, you just remember that the moment we are talking about trigonometry, we are talking about a right angle triangle. Is that clear? So in a right angle triangle, we have one degree as 90 degree. So any other degree, let us assume it to be theta. So theta is a variable. This theta can be anything. Now what is theta? This is nothing but a Greek alphabet. Like you have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, eta, okay, rho, sigma, blah, 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 omega. You have so many letters from the Greek alphabet that is always used, I mean, time and again in science. Just like that, theta is also just a letter too. I mean, by theta, we generalize the measurement of angles, that's all. So now, if this is theta and this is 90 degree, can anybody tell me what this angle will be? So basically, this is an angle I don't know. This is an angle theta plus this angle is 90 degree. So all the angles summed up to be equal to 180 degree. So this don't know angle is equal to 90 degree minus theta. Okay. The moment you derive this, now you remember this fact. What do you have to remember? That if one angle is theta, the other angle is 90 minus theta. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we will be defining some parameters. We shall be defining some parameters in this. So this is suppose base. Okay. This is height. And this is hypotenuse. Let the hypotenuse be represented by C. Okay. So H is height. So what is a height?
H.
No, I know that height is H. Here the representation of height is H. Height is the side other than the base. I mean excluding the hypotenuse, the side other than the base. What is the base? Actually this is very much this bottom is very much in regard to the angle. If this is the angle theta, if this is the angle theta and this is the angle with respect to which we want to see something, so the opposite side of this theta will be called as height. Always remember this. Height is just the opposite side of an angle. Okay?
Opposite side of the given angle.
Yes. Yes, other than the hypotenuse. Opposite side is not 90 degree anyway. Okay. All right. So up to this, is this clear to everybody?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us define some parameters. Now, how are we going to relate the angles and the sides? By ratio. By taking ratio of two sides. Okay. Because this is observed that for a particular angle, the ratio of two sides always remain constant. Suppose I take this angle as 30 degree. So if this is one triangle, this is another triangle, this is another triangle, maybe the triangles are different. Are you getting my point? Maybe the triangles are of different size. Maybe for each of the angles, the sides are different, but the ratio of the sides will be same. Is this clear? This is called similarity. Unfortunately, they started teaching you trigonometry before. So unfortunately, we are going to study trigonometry before. But how this happens? Why is the ratio same? That goes to similarity. Just for now, believe in me that the ratios for a particular angle will be same. Is that clear? The ratio of any two sides are always the same. This much only you remember. That's enough for you right now. So with that, we define the first trigonometric ratio that is constant for a given angle. That is called as sine of theta. Okay. Like you give f of x, g of x, h of x, similarly sine of theta is sine theta. So what ratio is this sine theta used to, represent? What is this sine theta used to represent? This is height by hypotenuse. Sine theta is height by hypotenuse. I shall be giving you some secrets also. The way I kind of remembered this thing, this is a kind of funny, but I shall be trying to give you. Okay. So sine theta is height by hypotenuse. This is height by hypotenuse. Now what other ratio is left? Tell me. Any ratio that is left? Base by hypotenuse. That is called as cos theta. Cos theta is the ratio of the base and hypotenuse. I'm coming to all of this. One more ratio. See, height by hypotenuse we did, base by hypotenuse we did, but we did not do height by base till now. So this ratio is called tan theta or tangent of theta. We call it tan theta. That is height by base, simply. this much you have to remember, because you will be using this thing so frequently, so thoroughly will be using this, that I would advise you to remember this. Is this clear? Sine theta, cos theta, yes, tan theta, because you would be given to find this kind of things. This should be thoroughly in your, just in your tongue. That should be just at the tip of your tongue. You should memorize it like that. So basically, you have this sine theta. Now, how did I remember? I remembered in a rather naughty way. So basically, how did I mean, memorize this kind of terms? How did I memorize, if you might ask me? See, sine theta. So what I did is, there was a boy, okay, there was a boy who jumped off this fence and kind of shine like this, he slid it off. So sine theta is height by hypotenuse. Okay, this is how I remembered. Now you can remember it just however, whatever way you want, but I'm just saying how I remembered. So like, there was this guy who tried to jump off a fence, and this was like a slope. So he jumped off and shine, like shine, he went off. Then this thing, this is the theta. So these two sides are kind of stuck. So cos means kind of a gum, a tight gum, cos. So cos of these are, I mean, this is how I kind of remembered these things in class, when I was in class 8. So cos, because these two sides are kind of stuck like this, so I remembered it like cos. And this was like t, this was like t. If I just extend it, it would be like t. So this was like tan. Okay, I know this is very poor, but still you can make your own funny ways of memorizing this. That is what I meant. Is that clear to you?
Maybe it can help us also.
Whatever way, yes. Okay, so you are becoming famous, that means. So okay, so basically the point is, this is how you can memorize it. Okay, this is what all I wanted to say. So what is, let us revise a little bit. So what is sine theta? Height by hypotenuse. When height and hypotenuse, base and hypotenuse, and then height and base, these are the first three ratios. Okay, is that clear? Of course, I'm coming. Wait a minute. I'm just telling, first of all, you digest these three things. So yes, Disha, what is cos theta?
Base by hypotenuse.
Okay. Anesha, what is tan theta? What is tan theta? Okay. So what is theta? Theta can be basically any angle. Acha, what is? Okay, there are only 3 and there are 12 participants, 11 participants in the class. So obviously there would be unjust stuffs. So see, what is theta? Don't be confused. Theta is an angle. Okay. Like see, you have this calculator. These are trigonometric calculators. You can calculate the trigonometric functions of anything. Suppose you want to calculate tan of 25 degree. Wait a minute. Suppose you want to calculate the tan of 25 degree. So that's 0.466. Are you getting my point? So for every angle, you can have a sine, cos and a tan from 0 to 90 degree. Okay?
Sir.
Yes.
So this hypotenuse by which are the length of
The length. Yes, of course. The length. There is no angle of hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is a length. Base is a length. Theta is the angle that is relating the base height and the hypotenuse in several ways. Is this clear? Now you might say that, sir, there is the ratio of height by hypotenuse. This is called as sine. Is there no ratio such as hypotenuse by height? Yes, there is. So the ratio of hypotenuse by height, this is called as cosec theta. Is this clear? Cosec theta. Now this will only come when you revise it. Okay, you have to revise it thoroughly. Otherwise it won't be coming like that. This, if you say, is there something called the ratio of hypotenuse and base? Yes, there is. That is called as sec theta. And for tan theta, we have cot theta as base by height. You get my point? So basically you have seen that there are 6 ratios: sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta. Is there any other ratio possible between 3 sides? Is there any other ratio possible for these 3 sides? If you can think of it, please let me know. But I cannot think of it. This all came into being. Okay. All the ratios of the sides of the right angle, what we wanted to get, we got it like this. Is this clear? So basically, I can say that cosec theta is equal to 1 by sine theta. Can I say that sec theta is equal to 1 by cos theta? And cot theta is equal to 1 by tan theta? I can say this, no?
Yes, sir.
Easily? Are you comfortable with this? Are you comfortable? Okay. Now, if I give you a problem to solve, can you solve it? Just give it a try. Okay, that would kind of revise your trigonometric abilities also. I gave that tan A is equal to 4 by 3. Find all the other trigonometric ratios.
With height by base, then 4 comes up as height and 3 comes as
If you want to be exact, please don't tell 4 is the height. You take 4k as the height and 3k as the base, because this is just the ratio. You never know what it is actually. Okay, you never know what is the length actually. There would be no problem in the solution. Your solution will come out to be fine. But I'm telling just for exactness. If you are writing it subjectively, it's important that you write, because these are the actual length of the and you literally don't know what is it. This was A. Mark this, tan A is height by base. So 4k is the height, 3k is the base with respect to A. See, the opposite side to the angle A is the height, as I said you before. This should have been the height, isn't it so?
Yes.
So if this is 4k, this is 3k, you have Pythagoras uncle. So when you have Pythagoras uncle, you have this as 5k. So what is sine this? Sine A, that is 4k by 5k, which is 4 by 5. Disha, tell me what is cos A? The question is, I gave you tan theta and I told you to find all the other ratios. See, if tan A is a constant, so basically the angle is constant. If one angle of a right angle triangle is constant, that means the triangle, you know what the triangle is going to be. Isn't it so? So I'm just asking you the other ratios. Cos A is the ratio of the base and the hypotenuse, as I said. So cos A is 3k by 5k. 3k by 5k is 3 by 5. Sin A is height by hypotenuse. 4k is the height. Hypotenuse is 5k. So height by hypotenuse is 4 by 5. Are you getting my point? What is sec A?
Sir, 5/3.
5 by 3. Common sense. So basically, what is sine, cos, tan of some angle? Nothing but the ratio of some particular sides. Okay. For sine, it will be the ratio of height and hypotenuse. For cos, it will be the ratio of base and hypotenuse. For tan of an angle, it will be the ratio of height and hypotenuse. Remember this thing, that the sine, cos and tan is very much dependent on the angle, because the angle decides which one will be height. To understand this, I'm just coming to another problem, another very immediate problem. Yes, you have memorized that from books, so it's all right. It does not matter until you understand what is going on. You can name it whatever you want. Yes, anything you want, unless you don't get confused. There is no compulsion. I can write XYZ also. This does not matter at all. It's the essence, the idea which matters, not the naming. So if this is A, this angle is going to be 90 minus A. Or if this is theta, this is 90 minus theta. Is this clear? Now, suppose this is height, this is base, and this is hypotenuse. So if I take the angle 90 minus A and then try to find out the trigonometric angles, now what will it happen? If I want to find sine 90 minus A, first of all, the moment an angle is fixed, my first job is to take a look at what will be the height. So height is always the opposite of the angle. So here B will be the height. Is this clear? With respect to 90 minus A, B is the height. Is this clear?
Yes.
So for 90 minus A, if B is the height, so sine 90 minus A will be B by C, because it is basically height by hypotenuse. Sine is always height by hypotenuse. But what is B by C? What is B by C? What is B by C with respect to A? Cos. So this is the same as cos of A. Is this clear? Here come we have a very important relation, that sine of 90 minus A is equal to cos A. What does it mean? This means sine of 90 minus 30 degree is equal to cos of 30 degree. Are you getting my point? So the value of sine 60 degree will be exactly equal to cos 30 degree. Is this clear? Sine of 90 minus A is equal to cos A. Is this understood? Huh? Okay. So I said you one thing. Please, that's why I tell you, listen to the things attentively that I'm telling to remember you. That's very important. See, trigonometric ratios are always with respect to an angle. Sine has no meaning. Cos has no meaning. Tan has no meaning. But sine theta has a meaning. Cos theta has a meaning, because you are telling that I am taking the sine of an angle, which is theta. So the moment you take sine, cos or tan, angle, the angle which you are considering, the angle of which you are taking sine, tan and cos, forms a very important part of the entire ratio that you are going to decide. Is this clear? One more thing I said that always the moment you take an angle, because sine, cos and tan is always of an angle, you have a right angle triangle. So the side that is opposite to the angle, the side that is opposite to an angle will be the height. For any angle, does not matter what. If you take this angle, the side opposite to this angle, this will be height. But the moment you take this angle, the side opposite to this will be height. So this will be acting like kind of this. This will be the height. Are you getting my point? You just turn it out. You just turn it around. This will be the angle. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So the sine is always height by hypotenuse. So if I take the angle as 90 minus A, the sine will be height by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse will always remain the same because it's the longest side in a triangle. But height, for if you take 90 minus A, the height will be this B. Isn't it so? So for sine 90 minus a, you will have height by hypotenuse as b by c. Is this understood?
Yes.
But if you see the same thing with respect to a, what do you see? b by c is exactly cos a. With respect to a, this b is the base. So we get sine of 90 minus a equal to cos a. This is a relationship between the sine and cosine, or sine and cos. Is this clear now? Similarly, you are just trying to find out the ratio of relation. There is nothing rocket science in this. You are just, trigonometry is all about finding the ratio of two sides in a right angle triangle. This is all trigonometry is about. This is nothing a very big mambo jumbo. There is nothing very big mambo jumbo about this. Is this clear? Similarly, if we try to see cos 90 minus a, for this angle 90 minus a, this will be the base. Okay? For this 90 minus a angle, this will be the base. Isn't it so? So if this is the base and this is the hypotenuse, so cos of 90 minus a will be base, which is h in this case, and hypotenuse c. But what is h by c?
Sir,
Sine of a. Not only sine. Sine does not have any meaning. Sine of a is h by c. So you have sine of 90 minus a as cos a, and cos of 90 minus a as sine a. Are you getting my point?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So suppose I tell you sine 20 degree, that will be equal to cos of 90 degree minus 20 degree, which is cos of 70 degree. Is this understood? That both the values will be same. If you want to check with the calculator, check this. Suppose I have 20 degree here. I have to find the sine. See, mark this. This is 0.3420 like this. Now, if I want to mark cos of 70 degree, if I take the cos of this, see 0.3420. Are you seeing the same values?
Yes.
This is what it is. No rocket science in this. Is this clear? Similarly, you can draw many other relations. You can draw quite a few number of relations just like this. See. The next thing is, I have decided a relationship between sine and cos like this. Suppose I take tan of 90 minus a. Tan is basically height by base. Tan is basically height by base. But for the angle 90 minus a, what will be the height? B. Isn't it so? For 90 minus a, B will be the height. Isn't it? What is height? Please clear this in your mind first. Otherwise, you will just go on confusing stupid things. For a specific angle, you want to find the trigonometric ratios. And the opposite to that angle, see, there are only two possible angles with which you can operate in a right angle triangle. Is this clear? One is theta and one is 90 minus theta. Is this clear? Only two possible angles. For each of the angles, you have the opposite side to it as the height. Just remember this much. This is like a golden mantra for you. Side opposite to theta is its height for that problem. Is this clear? Don't be confused by these notations H, B and C. I can name it X, Y, Z also. If you are so confused with the notation H, B and C, let me rename it by X, Y and Z. Okay. Now you tell me, for 90 minus A, what is height? Y. Height by base. The base will be, of course, X. So height by base was tan theta actually. So what is Y by X? If you see, Y by X will be cot theta. Cot of A. Base by height. See, Y by X, if you take A, if you take the angle A, X is height. So Y by X is getting as base by height. So tan of 90 minus A will be cot A. You can derive it yourself. I had derived these things myself. Draw a right angle triangle. The moment you have a trigonometric problem, draw a right angle triangle, and then just go by the ratios that you have. The basic thing, please, if you have not written it yet, please write this down. Okay, no need to write this thing, because this is very confusing to you, what I'm seeing right now. Just write this much, please. Write these 6 things quickly. Write this. It will be very necessary for you. No, angle is not height. Height is a side of a triangle. The opposite side of an angle. See, if this is the angle, this is the opposite side. Can you understand this much? What is opposite? Do you know what is opposite? Do you know what is opposite to your eyes, to your head? So this is the side opposite to this angle. I'm not even talking anything very complex. So for this angle, this side will be the height. Is this clear? To everybody, did you write this thing?
Yes, sir.
Is there any kind of confusion? Try this. Find what is cot of 90 minus A. In terms of A, find this out.
Sir,
Tan A. This is so simple. You have an angle. You have, suppose you have the triangle ABC. You have, this is A and this is 90 minus A. So cot of 90 minus A. Cot always means what? Base by height, the opposite of tan. So for 90 minus A, AB is the base and the height is BC. But for this A, for this angle A, AB itself is the height. So AB by BC is basically the height by base for the angle A. So this is tan of A. Is this understood?
yes, sir.
Similarly, you have sec of 90 minus A as cosec of A and cosec of 90 minus A as sec of A. Is this clear to you? You can just find it out at your home sitting. These are called as complementary angles. 90 minus A and A are called as complementary angles, and these are the ratio. These are the relationships between the trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. Just mark this out. Okay? Is this clear? Anybody having any kind of doubt, you can put front. Anybody having any kind of doubt up to here? Okay. So write down a question. Tan 65 degree is equal to cot theta. Find theta. Quickly. Do it fast. Nothing to take so much time. Ideally, this should not even take you 1 minute. Yes. Yes. This is simply because cot theta is tan 90 minus theta. So tan 65, if it is tan 90 minus theta, so 65 is equal to 90 minus theta. Theta is equal to 25 degree. Okay. So this is no rocket science. This is the 8th standard mathematics. Okay. So now with tan, see, for a given triangle, suppose this is the height, this is the base, this is the hypotenuse, and suppose we take theta. So we have sine theta as h by c, cos theta as b by c. Do one thing. Tell me what sine theta by cos theta is.
Sir, that
Remember this. This is very important. Okay. This is how you can find out all the ratios. This is very interesting. This is how you can find out all the ratios. Suppose you are given only sine 20 degree. Okay. I shall tell you a way later by which you can find cos 20 degree. And then you just divide these two, you will get tan 20 degree. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes.
Up to this, is there any kind of doubt? So you must be able to solve a problem. Solve this. If cot A is equal to 4 by 3, verify that 1 minus tan square A by 1 plus tan square A is equal to cos square A minus sin square A. Verify this. You have exactly 3 minutes. Anyway, let me do this. For those who did not do, I shall take LHS and RHS separately and I shall show that both of them are equal. So if cot A is 4 by 3, tan A is 3 by 4 and tan square A is 9 by 16. So 1 minus tan square A by 1 plus tan square A is 1 minus 9 by 16 divided by 1 plus 9 by 16. So that comes out to be 7 by 25. Similarly, in RHS, see, if you have tan A is equal to 3 by 4, then you have cos A as 4 by 5 and sin A as 3 by 5. So if you calculate the RHS, you get cos square A is equal to 16 by 25 minus sin square A is equal to 9 by 25. So you have it 7 by 25. Is LHS is equal to RHS? Is it so? So you verified this. Is this clear? Okay. Now, so basically, what did we learn till now? See, anybody having any doubt can put it in front of me, okay? If you are confused, you will remain confused and you will tell that the teacher does not teach anything. Any doubt? This is an absolutely new chapter, absolutely unrelated to anything else. So up till now, we learned what is sin theta, what is cos theta, what is tan theta, the opposite of that I mean reciprocal, sin cos tan, cosec sec cot, and how tan theta is directly related to sin theta and cos theta. We knew this. We know this already. Now, did you notice one thing? That cot theta is equal to 1 by tan theta. And you also learned that cot of 90 minus theta is equal to tan theta. And tan of 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. This is this tan and cot are the only two ratios which are reciprocal of each other as well as they form the complementary pairs like this. So apart from that, you studied what is sin 90 minus theta, what is cos 90 minus theta, what is tan 90 minus theta, what is cosec 90 minus theta, sec 90 minus theta, and you found out all the relationship here, isn't it so? So I think I don't have to repeat this thing. So this is all we have studied. The moment you have sin theta, cos theta, you think that these are just the ratios of two sides in a triangle. This is theta. The opposite to this theta is called height. The side which is just glued to theta, which is just touching this theta, is called as the base. And of course, the longest side is called the hypotenuse. There is no doubt about that. So all the ratios, what does it mean with respect to the ratio of sides? I guess you know it, right? Okay, by now you have known it. Now we are going to study some more relations between these trigonometric functions. Okay, there are some very interesting relations. These three you must keep in mind. Just three you remember and the other things will automatically happen. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. Cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. Okay. So what is sine square theta? It is nothing but sine theta whole square. Why do you write as sine square theta? Because sine theta square can mean something else, something different. That may mean that you are squaring the angle. Okay, that may sometime mean this. This may be confusing. To not have this confusion, we do sine square theta as sine theta whole squared. Is this understood?
Yes.
Now let us show that this is true. How to show that this is true? So what is sine theta? Sine theta is basically height by base, and sine square theta is height by base whole square. Cos theta is base by hypotenuse whole square. Right? Sine theta is height by base. Nobody even corrected me. This is equal to 1. I'm saying, let me find out if this is really equal to 1. So this is height square by hypotenuse square plus base square by hypotenuse square. So this is height square plus base square by hypotenuse square. So this is basically hypotenuse square by hypotenuse square, which is equal to 1. Is this clear to all of you? So basically, in this way, you can prove all of these three. These are very, 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 very fundamental. Once again, I'm telling you, don't need to memorize anything else. Okay. These are the tools of memorization that you have to have in order to solve any problem of trigonometry. This is very necessary. What do? First, you remember it well. What is sine theta? What is cos theta? What is tan, cosec, sec, cot in terms of height, hypotenuse, and base. The moment you get to this, you will know what complementary angles, how they are related. You will just see it in front of your eyes. There is nothing that is not there. Everything is already there. After that, after deriving this complementary ratio relations, then we come to this. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Now, how this is important? This is very important. This is very important because the moment you have sine theta, suppose you are given sine theta. So can you write cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta? Can you write cos theta is equal to root over 1 minus sine square theta? So in this way, you can find the cos of any angle just if the sine is given to you. The moment sine is given to you and cos you have found it out, now you also have tan of theta. Isn't it so? So just remember this thing. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. And cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. In the same way, you can prove this. Is this clear to you? Nothing. This you can call as identities. Identity because this will hold for any theta, does not matter what. So sine square 89 degree plus cos square 89 degree will also be equal to 1. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
if I give you to solve a problem, can you solve it? Find the value of sine square 24 degree plus cos square 66 degree. Find the value of this. Oh, sorry. Did I give cos? Oh my god. Aha. I made a silly mistake. My god. This will be sine only. Now tell me. Are you sure? This is basically sine square 24 degree plus cos square 90 minus 24. See, 90 minus 24 is 66. Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, let me do it like this. This is sine square 90 minus 24. Okay, is this clear? Can you write it like this?
Yes.
So sine square 24 degree. So sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta. So this is cos square 24 degree. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Is this clear to all of you? Anybody? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Then solve one more question. Solve one more question then. So, let me give a question like this. If sine theta is equal to a by b, prove that sec theta plus tan theta is equal to root b plus a by b minus a. Put your hands on it quickly. Okay, so shall I solve?
Yes.
Sir, part.
Okay, no issues. See, there will be instances where parlamna will happen. No problem. So let's solve. So there are many ways to solve this problem actually. There are many ways, incredibly many ways to solve this problem. One is, I have sine theta as a by b. So if this is theta, this is a by b, I have sine theta like this. So if I have sine theta like this, can I find out this? This is b square minus a square this side. Isn't it so? So sec theta will be equal to hypotenuse by base. And tan theta will be equal to what will be? Tan theta? A by root over b square minus a square. Height by base. Okay. The moment you add these two, you get sec theta plus tan theta, which is equal to b plus a by root b square minus a square. Do you get this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you write b plus a as root b plus a whole square? And this is b square minus a square. Can you write this as b plus a whole square divided by, can you write b square minus a square as b plus a into b minus a? So one b plus a gets cancelled and you are left with root b plus a by b minus a. Is this clear? Hey, to everybody, once more. So this is nothing. Sine theta is a by b. So I wrote it by drawing a triangle. Okay. So basically this side is ak, this side is bk, this side is k into b root over b square minus a square. This comes by Pythagoras theorem. So now you have all the sides. If you have all the sides, you have all the ratios. So you have to find sec theta plus tan theta. So you do sec theta, you find sec theta, you find tan theta in trigonometric terms, and then you add them. And just a little bit of manipulation and you get the answer. Okay. Clear, na?
Yes, sir.
Now, there is one last thing that will complete the entire trigonometry for you. One last thing and pretty important thing, that is, now I have shown you at certain instance, I found the value of tan 20, I found the value of cos 70 for you like that. But you cannot go on having a calculator in examinations. So there are some standard angles whose values you are supposed to know. I discussed this in the physics class itself, if you remember. I don't know if you remember or not. There are some standard angles. Can you relate this? Right now you can relate it better. So I told you this is sine of 0, this is cos, and this is tan. So how do you write this? Do anybody of you remember? I told you a way. not memorize this and write.
Sir,
Hmm.
first I will write the place of sine equals 0.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then,
Then I will write
ah,
the
then root over. Good. And that will give us what? That will give us 0 by 4 is 0. Root over 1 by 4 is half. This is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. This is root 3 by 2. And finally 4 by 4 square root is 1. Okay. Now you remember I told you to write the just this same sequence in the opposite way in case of cos. I guess by complementary relation now you will understand why did I say so. See, cos 0 is equal to sine 90, isn't it so? Because cos theta is equal to sine 90 minus theta. So therefore this is 1. Cos 30 is equal to sine 60. Because cos 30 is equal to sine 90 minus 30, isn't it so? So cos 30 is equal to sine 60. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2, therefore this is this. Okay? Sine 45 is cos of 90 minus 45 only. So sine 45 and cos 45 is the same because 90 minus 45 is also 45. Then this comes as half and this comes as 0. Cos 90 is equal to sine 0. Is this clear to all of you? Why did I say so? Now you know that tan is equal to sine divided by cos. So I divide 0 by 1, you get 0. You divide 1 by 2 and root 3 by 2, you get 1 by root 3. You divide 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2, you get 1. You get root 3 by 2 by 1 by 2 as root 3. And finally 1 by 0 as undefined. I have explained why this is undefined and not infinity. Is this clear?
Yes.
This table, this is a part of this chapter. This is the table of standard value. Now the moment you have sine, cos and tan, you can find out literally anything. Isn't it so? You can find sec, you can find cosec, you can find anything. Anything you want, you can find like this. Is this clear?
Yes.
This kind of completes your chapter. No. Cosec is 1 by sine theta. So if sine is 0, cosec will be 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is undefined. Let's write for cosec. So let's write for cosec. So this is 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is undefined. Now 1 by 1 by 2. This is 2. 1 by 1 by root 2. This is root 2. 1 by root 3 by 2. This is 2 by root 3. And what is it?
1.
This is the ratio for cosec. You can write it for cos, you can write it for tan, just like that. Is this clear? So this kind of clears the entire thing. I mean, this was actually the entire chapter. This was all about this. Now, just for your information, in case if you want to learn it a little bit more authentically, I will say that, sir, you give me these tricks, but how do I know in actuality? This is a trick just to remember. But how do I know that sine 30 is half, sine 45 is 1 by root 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2? How do I know this? Does this question occur in anybody's mind?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let me come to this point. Actually, how do we derive these relations? So first I shall talk about 30 degree, 45 degree and 60 degree. Then I shall talk about 0 degree and 90 degree. These are very special cases. Now, suppose I have an equilateral triangle. What do I have? What is the property of an equilateral triangle? Yes. Now what do? I draw a perpendicular from any one of the side to this equilateral triangle. So how much will be this angle? This angle will be 30 degree. Yes. So basically, I shall take this triangle ABC and I shall do all my trigonometric stuff. So suppose the side of the equilateral triangle was A. So what is this side? You know that the perpendicular, yes, it will divide the equilateral triangle into half. So basically from this equilateral triangle, we have this side as, this angle as 60 degree, this is 30 degree, and this side is A, this is A by 2. Can anybody find what this side will be? So root over A square minus A square by 4. It will be root over 3A square by 4, which is root 3A by 2. So this will be root 3A by 2. Yes. Now, assuming this angle as the trigonometric angle, I have sine 60 degree. What is sine 60? If I tell 60, this will be the height. So sine 60 is root 3A by 2 by A, which is root 3 by 2. Is this clear? Now this is the value of cos 30 only. I think I don't have to bother you with that. Now suppose you take this angle as the angle. So now if you do sine, suppose you want to do sine of 30 degree, this will be what? This will be this base by, so A by 2 divided by A is 1 by 2. Did you get what you got in the table? Sine 30 is half and sine 60 is root 3 by 2. Is this clear to you all?
Yes.
Okay. So 30 and 60 degree, I think it's clear. Now coming to 45 degree. Suppose we have a triangle with the base angle as 45 degree. So if one angle is 45 degree, no doubt the other angle is also 45 degree. Is this clear? There is no other way. So tell me, if the two angles of a triangle are equal, do you know that the opposite sides of the triangle will also be equal? Do you know this thing? This forms an isosceles triangle. So let us assume both of these sides as A. By Pythagoras uncle, you will get this side as root 2A. Okay? Therefore, you have sine 45 as height by hypotenuse, which is A by root 2A, which is 1 by root 2. Cos is also similar. So cos of 45 also you get 1 by root 2. And tan of 45 is height by base. Height and base are the same in this case. This is 1. Is this clear? This is how you get 30, 45 and 60. Anybody having doubt in this? Anybody? You don't have to remember this. This is just for your satisfaction, that how it comes or what is the genesis of this. This is just for your satisfaction, not for your, day-to-day problem solving purposes. And for the 0 and 90 degree, these are very special cases. I have to discuss this in a broad context. Suppose there is a triangle. Suppose this is the right angle triangle. This is not a triangle. This is Wolverine's nail. Wolverine. That's a Marvel character. I don't know whether you have heard of him or not. Suppose I draw a triangle like this. Do you see that if I keep the base as constant, if I keep the length of base as constant, and if I keep on decreasing this angle, this height will decrease. Remember I said the base is constant. Yes? If I keep it on decreasing and decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, one moment it will come when this angle is 0. What does it mean? That there is no triangle. This line completely coincided on this. Yes? So the height becomes 0. This height becomes 0 if the angle is 0. So if height is 0, height by hypotenuse will also be equal to 0. So sine 0 is equal to 0. Similarly, you see when see this length is almost equal to this length now, almost equal to this length. The moment this angle turns to be equal to 0, both of them overlaps. I mean, base and hypotenuse becomes the same thing. So you get cos of 0 is equal to 1 because the ratio of both of them will be 1 because they are of the same length. Are you getting this point? And if sine 0 degree is 0, so cos 90 degree is also 0. Cos 0 is 1, so sine 90 degree is also 1. Is this clear? Here comes the 0 and 90 part. To everybody, is this explanation clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this satisfactory? Or do I need to show you an animation? Sorry. When the angle is 42.05 degrees, you can see that this length is 1 and this length is 1.35. Are you getting my point? So what I'm doing is I am making C closer and closer and closer. I'm just decreasing the angle. See when this is 25 degrees, this is 1.11 and this is 1. Are you seeing that this is getting close to 1? Are you understanding this?
Yes.
So let me make it even more slower. So the moment I utilize see 1.0807, see the angle is decreasing and H is also, I mean, decreasing. Are you getting my point? See, now because this angle is very, very small, the length is not taking the approximations, maybe because it is 1.0000 something. So basically, at a very small, when this angle theta, see, this is now 0.76 degree almost. Can you see that the hypotenuse almost becomes equal to this base and the length of this height becomes almost 0? This is what I was trying to show you people. When this angle is 0, na, there is no height. So height by hypotenuse is bound to be 0. Are you getting my point? And see this base and hypotenuse becomes of the same length. This becomes as 1. This is clear. So basically this was all about the basics of trigonometry, whatever you had in class 10. Okay. So kind of we are done with trigonometry. Now what did we study? Why trigonometry, how trigonometry, then what are the trigonometric ratios, what are the angles corresponding to it. After that, we studied that how are these angles related to the sides, these trigonometric ratios, what are they, the relationships between them, the complementary angles between them, because there are only two angles in a right angle triangle. One is theta, one is 90 minus theta. We drew the relationship between them. We solved some problems. After that, we found out some very important identities. These identities are very, 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 very important. This may help you solve many, many problems. Okay. The moment you need sec theta and you have tan theta, it is not always necessary that you always go by forming that triangle. You can simply find out sec theta if tan theta is given from this formula. Isn't it so? So these three formulas are very, very important. How these are important? You will find it while solving the problems. You will see it's very interesting. So now the moment we found out all the formula, and we kind of now found out the standard angles from which problems can come. These are standard angles. Okay. You know these values. You know what is sine 45. You know what is cosec 60. You know what is tan 90. You know what is sine 0. You just know these things. For this, there is this table. And ultimately we end with these tables, with these tables of standard values. Now what you can do is you can plunge onto the problems of NCERT first. Start with NCERT. and then R.S. Agarwal. In R.S. Agarwal, there is not many problems. Okay. What you have to do first after this class ends, the first thing you need to do is sit in your home, calm down, and just try to understand from the absolute basics that what has happened in this class today. Try to draw the relationships. Otherwise, it will all feel very messed up, jumbled up. Try to identify the relationships. Okay, these and these are related in this way. These are just ratios. And these ratios are related like this. This is all you need to find. Is this clear? The moment you find out the relationships, you have summary of the entire chapter. At the end of each chapter, you check out the summary and then you start solving problems one by one. It will be very, very easy. You will see you will have a different level of confidence. Now for the problems you cannot solve, I am there, or at least you should try. So your homework will be exercise 10 and 11 from R.S. Agarwal. So your homework will be, yes, exercise 10. So exercise 10 and 11 from.
Sir, please check the message box.
Okay, I shall check later. I don't care. So exercise 10 and 11 from R.S. Agarwal, and from NCERT there are 4 exercises, I guess. So all the exercises. Okay, you just sit on. Don't think these many problems, I cannot do these, that, blah, blah. No, nothing like that. First, you start with NCERT. There are not many problems there. Exercise 4.1 done, 4.2 done, 4.3 done, 4.4 done. Then exercise 10 and 11 of R.S. Agarwal. Okay. These will be your homework for the next class.